Good evening and welcome to IIT Gandhinagar's JEE Open House 2022. First, a huge congratulations to each one of the students for clearing JEE. Now you have before you the pleasurable and yet difficult task of choosing the IIT that will be the best fit for you. Take a minute and think as I speak. Do you want an institute that will make you a very good engineer? Or do you want something more? Do you want an institute that will make you a very good and innovative engineer? Someone who can think out of the box, has the ability to offer creative solutions to problems, and can prove to be a leader in you. If your answer is the second, then IIT Gandhinagar is indeed your best choice. Why? We'll tell you in the open house. Let me just simply say, IIT Gandhinagar is in its 15th year. We may not have a long history, but what we have is an illustrious record of successful innovations in teaching, research, and student development, which is making us redefine excellence. On that note, I call upon the very first speaker for this evening, the director of IIT Gandhinagar, Professor Amit Prashant. Over to you, Professor Prashant.
Thank you, Sharmita. It's wonderful to have you all in this session, and let me congratulate you first for all your achievements in JEE. It's a big day. You can say big achievement in some sense, paying for the hard work that you have gone through in last few years. As Sharmita mentioned, this is at the same time a journey where you have to choose. You have to think about many things. And as a IIT system or about IIT Gandhinagar, we'll be happy to provide you all the information that is you need, and through the question and answer session later on. But before we get there, I am tasked with telling you about the overview of IIT Gandhinagar in general. We call ourselves a different IIT. Why so? Because there are departures from the developments that we had over long history of IIT system, and where certain aspects of student development and student leadership that we have incorporated in our, you can say, institution framework. While we were, you can say, starting with a small school a few years back, we did a lot of innovation in curriculum and many other places. And some of the glimpses of those innovations, those impacts that you will hear from our colleagues here, as well as some of the alumni. One thing that defines IIT Gandhinagar is it's a student first policy. What that means is that at every decision that we take, you can say in everything we do, we put the student at the center of that thought process. And we hope and we assume that probably that is the best way to go about any policy, any curriculum, any framework that we design, because it is all about eventually how the students will do in long run. Around that, it comes the freedom, or the, you can say, we call it, you are an adult, and when you come to the campus, you live with us in the campus in a larger family. You will be treated as an adult who makes their own decisions. And at the same time, of course, we will hold accountable as adults are supposed to be. But how that helps you is to pursue your passion. While going through the JEE process, you had some information, some exposure to what is possible. Your neighbors, your parents, the data that you will see on the JOSA website, all that information is going through your head. And you will be making certain decisions about what branch to take, what IIT to take based on that information. And of course, that information is never enough to decide what to do. The more the information, the better it is, always. But still, after making that decision, it is yet to be seen or yet to be found whether you have chosen the path that is what you would like to pursue further, or you would like to have a small change in that, whether it is change of branch, change of expertise, additional learning components, all that you will look for when you have more and more exposure. You will talk to more and more people in the field, and you will find your passion, your excitement somewhere, which may or may not match with your original choice that you had made. So that what we have done here in the curriculum as well as in the student life in general, you will see that as far as possible, most of the students are able to pursue whatever they want. Branch change policies, you will hear about it, very liberal way of dealing with the students, you can say. As we understand that part of the learning happens in the classes, but a lot of learning happens outside the class where you work with other students on different aspects of, you can say, student life, and there's a learning behind it. If you look at that student is at the center, we also need to make sure that the faculty is at the matching level, you can say, or beyond the expectations that generally you would have. So if you look at the faculty profile on the website of IIT Gandhinagar, you'll find that we have probably one of the best faculty profiles based on their background and their research productivity here. So there's a lot of opportunity to work with excellent, exceptional people while you are doing your undergraduate. You want to pursue certain projects in certain areas, not really necessarily related to your own branch, that is possible. You want to have exposure beyond the boundaries of the campus, that is possible. We have almost 40% of our students going for international exposure of significant nature before graduation. That has been the record in the past 10 years, which means that 2 to 2.5 months, you will have a chance to go to some of the best universities or companies in the world to pursue certain projects or research. These kind of opportunities in campus with the faculty of exceptional profile and the opportunities that come from outside is what provides you exposure that will guide your future path in a way. At the same time, you can say we have the curriculum that is designed which allows that freedom of pursuing certain passions, but at the same time we encourage you for certain aspects. One of our innovation was foundation program, and you will hear about it. So first 5 weeks, no classes, focusing on more of a, you can say, soft skills and creativity and physical fitness, etc., which is essential to be successful in whatever you want to pursue in long run. Based on all these innovations that we'll hear about, we have the alumni base now today who are doing exceedingly well. You will find professors from our BTech pursuing later higher education and then becoming professors in some of the best universities in the world. We have entrepreneurs. You have already in last 5-6 years, they're reaching a very significant assessments. You can assess all this by one data, what I'm going to tell you. Last 3 years of annual giving of our alumni to IIT Gandhinagar has been such that 50% or more than 50% of the students have donated back to the institute in a small and large amounts, doesn't matter. Point is that 50% students coming and donating back or connecting back to the institute speaks of the the attachment or the experience they had while they were here. Now, this is not very trivial. It's a very significant, you can say, data, which tells us that the people after 5 years, 10 years after graduation, they such a large number feel so strongly about the education they received here. At the same time, there are many well-wishers of the institute who help us with their donations to invest that into different parts of excellence for the students. So all these international internships, international exposures, attending conferences, as well as pursuing your passion in campus, as well as outside different projects, funding, and also supporting the students coming from weaker financial backgrounds with the scholarships. There are a lot of scholarships that you will hear about probably. All that is possible through a large effort with a group of well-wishers of the institute who have made significant donations to the institute, and it has been possible through that process. Of course, you do BTech only once in life, and I hope you will have the best choice made through this choice filling or counseling process. Whether you come here or you go to another institute, our best wishes will always be with you. And we would like every student who is here to succeed well in future. But at the same time, we would love to have you with IIT Gandhinagar. And I hope that you will choose that, because I know for sure that this kind of experience is not possible. This kind of, you can say, freedom is not possible otherwise. So with that, I would like to invite my colleagues to tell you rather more about IIT Gandhinagar and how the campus looks like, how the life looks like, etc. And after that, probably we'll have a question and answer session where you can have your specific questions answered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Prashant. Our next speakers are Professor Nitin George, Dean of Academic Affairs, and Professor Himanshu Shekhar, Associate Dean, Undergraduate Studies. Nitin and Himanshu, please.
Yeah, thanks, Shamita. Good evening, everyone. I have a short presentation which will where we will try to cover what are the type of options which are available at IIT Gandhinagar for you to choose from. So currently, IIT Gandhinagar is offering BTech degree in 6 disciplines. These are chemical engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, materials engineering, and mechanical engineering. Starting from 2022, we have admitting students to 2 BTech MTech dual degree programs. So these are the computer science and engineering program and electrical engineering program. So once somebody is admitted to a BTech program at IIT Gandhinagar, what happens is after the end of the first year, we also give an option for students to change the program or change the branch. So we have a very liberal branch or program change policy. So what happens is you have been admitted to a particular BTech program or a BTech MTech dual degree program. At the beginning of the second year or after finishing of the first year, the student could opt for a change of program or a change of branch. So the options which are available with us right now is one could change from a BTech program to a BTech MTech program, one BTech discipline to another BTech discipline. That means if you are admitted into a electrical engineering BTech program, you could ask for a change of branch to a chemical engineering program or a computer science and engineering program. You could ask for a change of program from a BTech MTech dual degree to a regular BTech program, or you could ask for a change of program from one of the two BTech MTech dual degree to another BTech MTech dual degree. So this is the first round of flexibility which we bring into our system, where we want people to pursue whatever they are interested in, and these options will help students to do that. These are very liberal branch change policies. The minimum eligibility to apply for a branch change is of like 6.5 CPI. And if somebody is scoring 9.5 CPI or above at the end of first year, they are allotted a branch of their choice without any restriction or without any questions asked. Then further, in the dual degree program, BTech MTech dual degree program, what we are envisioning is that there will be additional flexibility for students in the BTech MTech dual degree program to move to the BTech program, and students in the BTech program to move to the BTech MTech dual degree program. So that is the vertical flexibility which we are trying to implement in our program. So even if somebody is not getting a branch change, what are the other options of pursuing whatever a student is interested in? So we will look at that options next. So the next option is what is called the dual major program. So this happens after 3 semesters. Once a student has spent 3 semesters at IIT Gandhinagar, a student could request a change of program to what we call a dual major program. Dual major program means instead of you getting one BTech specialization, one BTech major, you could get 2 BTech majors. So this could be a BTech in electrical engineering. You have joined a BTech in electrical engineering, but you could convert your program to a BTech in electrical engineering and a BTech in chemical engineering. So this will be one degree with two majors. And this is also very flexible. We are saying up to 20% of the sanction strength, we could have a dual major program. And if somebody opts for a dual major program, it usually takes around 10 semesters to complete the requirements of both the programs. It would be difficult for someone to finish both the major requirements within a period of 4 years. The next option is the dual degree program. So in addition to the admissions to the BTech MTech dual degree program, there are options for students to opt for a BTech MTech dual degree program or a BTech MSc dual degree program. That means if you could get a BTech in mechanical engineering and an MTech in computer science and engineering without having got a branch change at the time of at the end of first year. You could this possibility is there. Second option is the BTech MSc dual degree, where one could get a BTech in materials engineering and an MSc in mathematics. So there is flexibility in doing whatever type of courses and whatever type of programs which you would like to do. This dual degree also takes 10 semesters to complete. The next option is that if I don't want to do a program change, you could opt for minors. So we have a large variety of minors, which the full list is there in the JOSA website, where one could pursue their interest. So for example, if you are a BTech in civil engineering, you could do a minor in data analytics, you could do a minor in chemical engineering, whichever is of interest to you. So these are some of the options which are there. And in addition, you could also go for an honors degree. In the sense you are admitted to a particular discipline, and if you want to have a higher level of specialization in that discipline, you could do additional courses and additional projects to get a BTech honors in a particular discipline. So these are the type of opportunities which we are giving for a student to come into the BTech program or a BTech MTech dual degree program, and then make changes in the changes on the fly, either at the end of first year, or when they are with us during their stay at IIT Gandhinagar. Okay, so these are some of the pictures you could see. This is the academic area of IIT Gandhinagar. Yeah, now I will invite Himanshu to share about the curriculum and what type of emphasis we give in our curriculum. Yeah, thank you. Himanshu, over to you.
Thanks, Nitin. Requesting the host to enable my video. Thank you. So thanks, Nitin, for providing me this opportunity to speak with prospective IIT Gandhinagar students. So I wanted to highlight a few broader points about the undergraduate program at IIT Gandhinagar. As Professor Amit Prashant and Professor Nitin George mentioned, we are a student-first institute. That means that we keep students as stakeholders in every decision that we take. And the program that we have developed is very unique. You may have heard about the new education policy, and certain features of the new education policy have already been in place at IIT Gandhinagar over the past decade. So the first point is that we try to prepare you not only for your first job, but we try to impart skills which will also be useful for your last job, in the sense that skills such as communication, leadership, the ability to break down a problem into small parts and address those, these are fundamental to any engineering or even any other profession. We try to inculcate this. The second aspect of the curriculum is breadth. So apart from having depth in your chosen area of specialization, because of the rise of the importance of interdisciplinary knowledge, it is important to be able to speak the language of other disciplines as well. And that is where breadth comes in. Now, while focusing on breadth, we try to match the interests to those of the students. And that's where the flexibility comes in. So what is the evidence that we have a flexible program? Nitin already mentioned branch change norms are some of the most flexible among all IITs. And it may not always be possible because of limited numbers. However, you have the option, even if you are pursuing a particular discipline, the choice of courses that you have can be tuned according to your interest, or you can choose minors, etc., to suit your interest. Then we emphasize overall personality development and life-changing experiences. You can experience fellowships to travel within India, to experience other cultures, learn at the best universities abroad, and emphasize on developing international skills, the ability to work in a diverse environment. These are some things that we emphasize. Now, what is the experience within the classroom at IIT Gandhinagar? So one of the features that we emphasize and we encourage our professors is to incorporate active learning, learning by doing. We want this learning to be consequential in your career, whether or not you choose to stay in the profession of engineering, but we would want this to actually help you develop your knowledge and skills. So we emphasize active learning, learning by doing. We have a state-of-the-art Maker Bhavan and Tinkerer's Lab, and every project, every class incorporates a lot of learning by doing projects and learning outside the classroom. So lastly, I would like to emphasize the way we start the program is through an award-winning and innovative foundation program, which is very well replicated in other IITs as well, where we try to break the monotony of the past few years that you are facing in JEE preparation, and we essentially tune you to start off your journey in the next 4 years on the right footing. So you will be told more about these programs by others. So I would like to stop here and thank you for the opportunity to share these views with the students.
Thank you, Nitin and Himanshu. Coming up now is Discipline Spotlight. I will call upon my colleagues from different disciplines of engineering to speak to you about their disciplines. So we begin with chemical engineering. Professor Chinmay Ghoroi from chemical engineering. Chinmay, please. Chinmay? Okay, Chinmay can join there. Okay, Chinmay will join us a little later. In the meantime, let me call upon my colleague from civil engineering, Professor Udit Bhatia. Udit, over to you, please.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Sarmishta. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this JEE open house. I'll be very quick, giving an overview of discipline of civil engineering. So as you are preparing for your journey onwards, civil engineering is one of the pedestal engineering where we focus on four main thrusts at IIT Gandhinagar. That is structural engineering, geotechnical engineering, water resource engineering, and now environmental engineering. As all engineering fields have changed, so does have civil engineering. Now we have greater penetration of data analytics, data sciences, programming, computer science analytics into our program. And at IIT Gandhinagar, the kind of program we have been developing at discipline of civil engineering would have lot of exciting stuff where you would not only learn the fundamentals but would also experience the real meaning of engineering by virtue of learning by doing that Professor Himanshu was highlighting. So I look forward to see many of you at IIT Gandhinagar and at civil engineering. Thanks, Sharmishta. That's all from my side.
Sharmita here. Sharmishta is the overall organization
Yeah.
organizer.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Udit. We now welcome Professor Chinmay Ghodoi from Chemical Engineering. Chinmay, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sharmita. Very good evening and congratulations to all students and the parents attending IIT Gandhinagar's JEE Open House session. I'm coordinating the chemical engineering discipline, and we are having around 13 colleagues, young and dynamic colleagues whose profiles are really excellent, and they are very distinct in their research area. So we are in the chemical engineering, we are doing research in conventional chemical engineering as well as the advanced chemical engineering like nanobiotechnology, advanced materials, optimization, control, molecular simulation, safety, environmental science, and sustainability. So, and these are different research areas our colleagues are working. We also have the latest and best in the class and state-of-art laboratory facilities. Various types of labs are there, including there is one NABL lab, which is the National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratory Accredited Lab. And also we have a pilot plant where we do some of these processes in comparatively large scale. So here the students gets opportunity to work with multi-scale laboratory facilities. And since because of these pilot plant facilities and other state-of-art lab facilities, and as we are also located in the heart of the chemical industries, so we get opportunity, or our student get opportunity to work with industry members almost day-to-day basis in multiple projects. Also, we are having a lot of collaborations with national and international communities and organizations that also facilitate our students to move around and multiple or visit multiple institutions, including some of these organizations in different countries. Also, there is additional facilities at IIT Gandhinagar, which Professor Amit Prashant also mentioned, that our 40% of undergraduate student or BTech student get opportunity for an international exposure. So presently, we are having around 120 chemical engineering BTech student, and about 70% of our chemical engineering student communities are BTech student with fantastic your social diversity and very good gender diversity also. And most of our students looking for jobs, and they're getting also, means in last year we got around 90-93% placement, and there are around 15 to 20% student of chemical engineering going for the higher studies with multiple top class university in the world. So in summary, we are trying to generate the well-trained entrepreneur and the future leader for the industry, for research and academia. And our, as mentioned by Professor Nitin, that our curriculum is very much flexible, and there's a great student and faculty engagement, and there's a great, you will get the great learning experience. Only thing we're not able to show you a specific building named as chemical engineering. So that is mainly because we are truly interdisciplinary in our system. You can access any building, any building, and it will be all are chemical, mechanical, civil, all are clubbed together, the labs and everything together. So as an institute, as also mentioned earlier, we always believe in the student first policy and philosophy. All of us are excited to see you, and most welcome to our campus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chinmay. I now welcome Professor Anirban Dasgupta from Computer Science and Engineering. Anirban, over to you.
Hi. Can I turn on my video?
Yes, please do.
Right. I think the host needs to, okay, start my video. All right, thank you. Okay, so first, welcome to all of you. We do hope to see a large number of you in our beautiful campus. You must have seen some pictures of our campus. So let me just talk about CS. So what exactly do we do in computer science, right? So, and I guess I don't have to sell to you the importance of some of the innovations that have come out of computer science in the recent years, right? Things like artificial intelligence that all of you know about, machine learning, blockchain, etc. And as you know, that a lot of these innovations are fundamentally changing the way that we do science, the way that we do business, or even how we relate to each other, how we spend our times, right? But I'd like you to take a step back and think beyond the hype, right? So please realize that these are specific problem-solving techniques, right? And as such, they're not really limited to computer science. Right? Each of these are as powerful problem-solving techniques that get used by people across all domains, right? Civil, mechanical, physics, biology, climate science, etc. So then what do we do in computer science? Again, we essentially work in two different modes, right? Number one, we work in developing these powerful problem-solving techniques, these novel computational techniques, AI, ML, blockchain, etc., so that other people can use it. Number two, we collaborate with our colleagues and more specifically, the students across all disciplines, right? In order to use these powerful techniques to solve really, really big problems, right? For instance, can you do genome sequencing for every person on Earth, right? What can you do to use AI, ML to stop climate change, to mitigate the effects of climate change, right? Can you use these techniques in order to understand what the universe has been telling us for billions of years, right? Through radio astronomy, through gravitational waves and all that, right? So in terms of the curriculum, we have a very liberal curriculum with a lot of flexibility. And you also have a very cool batch of seniors, I can guarantee you that. And I can guarantee you that if you put your mind to it, if you really put your mind to it, you will have a lot of fun learning the computer science and engineering topics that we have out here, right? Of course, there's if you have other questions, I'll be around. So please feel free to let me know.
Thank you so much, Anirban. Thank you so much. I now request, you have heard him already, but now he is going to come in as a representative of electrical engineering. You heard him as an associate dean before. So Professor Himanshu Shekhar from electrical engineering. Himanshu, your time.
Thank you, Sharmita. So I'm very glad to be talking about electrical engineering. When you think electrical engineering, right, what do you think? Probably the terms that come to your mind are electricity, electromagnetism, electronics. Indeed, it's a very broad field which affects almost everything that we do on a day-to-day basis, right? And if you look at the challenges that face humanity, for example, some of the major challenges such as sustainability, health, energy, security, electrical engineering has a very key role to play in all this, okay? So I hope that some of you are able to join the program in electrical engineering. And I'll give you a practical example of the device that we use daily. Let's consider a smartphone. So first thing is you charge your phone and you turn it on, right? That's electrical engineering. When you use the touch sensor on which you dial a number, that touch sensor is electrical engineering. You have all these apps, but the signals and the information that these apps work on, for example, Siri or the speech signal, how you process it to gain information, that is electrical engineering, right? You may have certain sensors to measure your heart rate. How it is done is through electrical engineering. So what I would like to mention is that it's a very broad and diverse field, which is closely related to other fields as well. And there is a lot of opportunity. For example, you might be interested in designing the chip which actually runs the iPhone, or you might be interested in looking at certain algorithms or information theory to take decisions, right? Decision making. Or you may be interested in designing sensors to take measurements. So all this falls within the purview of electrical engineering, but with rising interdisciplinarity, the boundaries are very faint. There's a lot of overlap with other exciting disciplines, and electrical engineering. What is electrical engineering? If you ask this question today, the answer is very different from 25 years ago. So do you want to find out more about this? If so, I would like to see more of you here at IIT Gandhinagar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Himanshu. Now I request Professor Amit Arora from Materials Engineering to take over. Amit, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Amit, yeah, you need to be a little louder.
Am I audible?
Yes, it's fine now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the JEE Open House. I'm Amit Arora. I'm a faculty member with the Department of Materials Engineering at IIT Gandhinagar. And just a small description of materials engineering. We basically work on anything and everything related to materials. So if you're looking for a material for a train, to a bike, to an aeroplane, to a rocket, or if you're looking for a material for a chip or a battery or anything, we work in almost all these areas. The prime focus of the department is to either develop a specific set of materials for a specific set of properties, or to develop processes where we can change properties of certain materials to a specific type of materials. The kind of technologies which we work on solar panel materials, we work on additive manufacturing, we work on nanomaterials, we work on biomaterials, we work on electronic materials. All these areas come under the materials engineering. So basically, any and every problem which you can think of, which the humanities is facing right now, there is one component of a solution which is lying in the finding a solution in the form of a new material or a new property of material, be it a new chip which Intel has to design, or be it a new material which Elon Musk has to have for his SpaceX mission, or a material which ISRO requires for their own next mission to Mars and Moon. So summing up, materials engineering, when you join, you will be joining a highly qualified group of faculty members who have graduated from almost everywhere in the world, from Caltech to Cambridge to Switzerland and all. So, these are people who are very active in research, who are working in extremely diverse areas, from polymers, ceramics, metals, nanomaterials, everything. And as per the record, if you see, most of the graduates from materials engineering department have gone on to pursue masters and PhDs in some of the best universities across the world. So that's how we work, and I think that's where I'll stop for the sake of time. And if anyone has any questions, I'll be available to answer in Q&A or after the presentations. Thank you, Sharmita. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you so much. In this segment, the last but definitely not the least speaker and discipline, Professor Ravi Shastri Ayagarai from Mechanical Engineering. Ravi Shastri, over to you, please.
Yes, hi.
Could you please switch on the camera?
Yeah, I have requested
for I just have a request to here you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharmita. So hi all, welcome to this IIT JEE Open House. I'm Ravi Ayagari, a faculty in the Mechanical Engineering discipline here at IIT Gandhinagar. We are a team of 11 career faculty within the discipline, working on a wide range of problems. The mechanical engineering discipline as such is all-encompassing, if I may say so, be it right from the aerospace industry, if you are thinking of working on a fuel for a space mission, all the way to designing the spacecraft itself, all the way to thinking about the mechanics behind the inner workings. There are several pillar core areas within mechanical engineering. Broadly, I can classify them as the area of robotics and mechanics. Then we have the aerospace, which encompasses both thermal and fluid sciences. And we do also have energy and fuel cell systems as the core areas within the mechanical engineering discipline. These being the core areas, these can be applied to problems of design within, not only the aerospace industry, but also in automotive industry. And we have really good labs at the undergraduate level, be it mechanical testing lab or heat and mass transfer lab, and so on and so forth. There is also one other highlight that I would want you to pay attention to, which is our Tinkerers Lab. And as the name suggests, Tinkerers Lab at IIT Gandhinagar is open to all to play around and create something of their choice to make you feel yourself as a true engineer working with things, getting your hands dirty and learning by doing along the way. We are also a discipline who focus on getting opportunities for our students as part of internships, where the students from earlier batches have been to places like Caltech, where they gained exposure by spending a summer there. We also are open to engaging the undergraduate students in various research projects which are run within the faculty of the discipline, as well as we being a porous institute in general, where interdisciplinarity is at the high. You also can engage with research projects in other disciplines as undergraduates doing independent projects. So with this, I end my conversation, but I welcome you all on board and look forward to seeing you at IIT Gandhinagar. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Thank you very much. And thanks to all the colleagues who spoke in this section. Our next segment is student life, and I'm sure students are very excited. You've heard a lot about studies, now time to hear about student life. We have with us the Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Shivapriya Thirubukaran, Head of Counseling Service, Professor Bhaskar Datta, General Secretary, Student Council, Nikhar Shah, and from the BTech batch of 2020, Aditi Agarwal and Sagar Chavan. So I request Professor Shivapriya and the others to come in, please. Priya, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarvita. Very happy evening to all of you guys who are present for this open house. So all the serious part is over. Now we will start the fun part. Okay, so student affairs here, we are here to take care of you throughout your stay in our campus. So let's start with what our philosophy has been. You might have heard this student first from many of us. When we say student first, we really mean it because we consider students as responsible adults. As Professor Himanshu Shekhar said, that we involve you in every step that we are taking. And so that provides a sense of responsibility. And then you are part of several activities, student development, student welfare, everything comes together. And then you are part of a lot of decision making also. And then when we come to the team of student affairs, we have several people work almost 24/7. If you take caretakers, if you take hostel office, we have, they are there for you to help as a dean, and we have 2 associate deans to help you out throughout. We have wardens. It's a very big team, actually work for your welfare and your safety, your comfortability on the campus. When I talk about student life overall in the campus, we have hostels. We have 12 hostels, which are fully air conditioned and fully furnished hostels. You see, the hostels are very cohesive. They are very close to each other. Why? We want to have as much as possible interaction with each other. So you will not be left alone in the hostel. So you will always have a big crowd because the hostels also equipped with the shops. There is a mini library. There is all the facilities and amenities that you will enjoy in our campus. So as a student, when you have hostel, then mess facilities is next to each other. So we have 4 messes now, but 2 are under maintenance and 2 of them are functional. And we are also the first educational institute on the campus which was given E-Trade Campus Award, which is given as a 5-star rating. So it's not only healthy, it's very tasty and very hygienic mess facilities we have. And we also have all the food joints in the campus have valid FSSAI certificate. So next is when you have your student life here, what are the things that you can actually go through? So apart from academic, there are a lot of fun activities. There are a lot of events from technical to cultural. Every festival is celebrated to take you through home away from home. Okay, so we have several events that are planned throughout the year. So you will definitely enjoy this environment of our student life here and the facilities here. So yeah, next one is if you see the overall campus, we have a brand new sports complex, and then you'll also probably if you're interested in sports, and this is the best place that you can actually enjoy. So I'll leave right now here with Professor Bhaskar Datta to take you through the well-being initiatives.
Good evening, everyone. At IIT Gandhinagar, we don't see student well-being as a separate endeavor. We consider it as part of everything that we are doing, including all of the fantastic academic initiatives that my colleagues have already mentioned, such as the flexible spectrum of coursework and various ways of learning courses that I'm sure would be extremely innovative for you when you join. As Professor Shivapriya has mentioned, the campus life gives you a sense of freedom and responsibility at the same time. We are very proud of the safety and the cleanliness that is maintained across our facilities, be it in the hostel area itself or even outside in the academic area. There are excellent support systems. You heard about some of the student affairs support system. We have hostel support systems in terms of caretakers and other staff, academic support systems in terms of discussion groups, open hours, discussion hours. We are also really enthused by the aspirations of our students, where we take a keen interest in serving them choose their careers and jobs. Students may want to look at those separately or together. There's a lot of emphasis on personal development and on giving back. A huge proportion of our alumni are very proud donors to the institution. This is a 12-year institution we are talking about, and we have a significant proportion of our BTech students who contribute back to the institute in various ways, endowed fellowships, other scholarships for students, and so on. This just speaks to the fact that the overall experience of students at IIT Gandhinagar is one which is filled with positivity. In terms of what we are trying to do actively to ensure your well-being, it covers academic interventions. There's a clear emphasis on identifying areas of interest and passion that cuts across your disciplines in the BTech program, your extracurricular activities, your hobbies, interests, and even for that matter, things which can be done on a team-based level rather than an individual level. There is a positive atmosphere of guidance and mentorship that is across years in the program. It's also across programs itself. There is a very healthy cohesion between our postgraduate students and the undergraduate students. And finally, just a couple of words about the support groups coordinating with multiple institute bodies. We have vibrant counseling services in the institute. We liaise with all the groups, including academic affairs, student affairs, to ensure that each student is well served. And I hope all of you join our institution and have a great time. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. Sharmita, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Bhaskar. Now I request Nikhar to come in, please. The student GSEC. Yes.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So just a quick introduction. I'm Nikhar Vasha. I'm a current BTech fourth year student in the discipline of electrical engineering. And I remember that just 3 years ago, I was sitting on the other end of this conversation. I was a shy and insecure kid who didn't know what to do in life. I definitely could not address so many people. And like you, I was in a dilemma if I should join IIT. And cut to present, I am the General Secretary of IIT Gandhinagar, representing more than 1,600 students, working with 7 different councils and helping administration with their mission of students first, like Professor Prashant rightly said. And one thing that I can be sure about is that the choice that I made that day was the best choice that I ever made. I mean, the kind of environment that IIT Gandhinagar gives to the students for their overall development is amazing. I mean, the opportunities are endless. Like placement and internship opportunities are amazing. I myself did an internship at Adani this summer, and you won't believe me, I had the chance to work with the CTO of Adani Group himself. I mean, isn't it amazing? IIT Gandhinagar has international sports complex, international standard sports complex, student-run clubs where you can engage in all kind of activities from dance, music, art, game development, coding, entrepreneurship, and much, much more. The flexibility of curriculum is amazing. I'm currently doing a minors in management. I mean, who knew? We have amazing profs, scholarship opportunities to do industrial projects with big companies. And I guess here I can certainly boast about the living conditions. So we live in AC rooms. We have amazing infrastructure, 24/7 available workspaces. And this list of opportunities is endless. Topping up all of these opportunities, I can say that we have the kind of freedom and responsibility that IITGN gives you is unbelievable. Students have a say to decide the commercial outlets that come on campus. They're a part of the placement process. We run all the fests and summits on our own without any involvement from the administration. And these fests get footfall of more than thousands of people. All in all, I would say that when you combine all these opportunities, freedom, and responsibilities, the way that IITGen shapes a student is not expressible in words. So yeah, I mean, at last, I would say that I would love to see you all on campus as a part of our IITGen family, and all the best to all of you for your future.
Thank you so much, Nikhar, the General Secretary. Now I welcome Aditi Agarwal, BTech 2020 batch, a student of BTech from the 2020 batch. Aditi, come in, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am. So congratulations to all of you for clearing JEE Advanced. So I was a student who was part of the supposedly online batch. So when I joined this institution, it was through a laptop. So I remember some of the initial meetings with my seniors, and we would just ask them, "Ki bhaiya ya didi, how is the hostel, how is the mess?" And they would tell us that the food is amazing. And when you have been a student who has been told that engineering colleges have literally one of the worst mess foods, that there is a lot of water in the dal, or there are dry chapatis and things like that. So you do not want to believe that the mess food would be good. And the moment I stepped foot on the campus, the moment I tasted the food, I remember telling my mom, "Ki, Mummy, main hostel mein nahi, hotel mein reh rahi hu." Because we are living in AC rooms, we are served food 4 times a day, and there are moments when I am frustrated because I'm having so much paneer. So all in all, I think if you look at the facilities, so we have been provided with the best kind of facilities. We have been provided with things that you will not even imagine. So there is a newly opened sports complex here, and you literally set foot in that area and you will be amazed by the kind of facilities. So you enter, there's a trampoline, there's a rock climbing wall, there's a Olympic sized swimming pool, there are all sorts of sports, there is space for skateboarding and things like that. And the facilities are so amazing that someone like me who was not someone who was into physical fitness also likes to visit the complex. Other thing about this campus is that, again, as you might have heard a lot of times, that all of the professors told you that they treat us like adults. So they actually treat us like adults. So if I have to tell you, there is no in time here, there is no out time here. You might have heard stories where people would fool their wardens and go out at night to drink chai. We don't have to fool our wardens. We can just step out of that gate anytime. And that brings us a lot of responsibility, Responsibility in terms of being trustworthy adults who are given this much of freedom, responsibility in terms of choosing our own careers, and responsibility in terms of being in general a better human being who is not just here as an engineering student but as someone who feels deeply about the institution. So I would just like to wish everyone good luck on whatever choices you make, and I hope to see you all here at campus and interact more. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Aditi. Our next person in this segment is BTech 2020 student Sagar Chavan. Sagar, come in, please. Sagar, you're not audible. You need to unmute yourself.
Yes, yes. Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, you're fine. Go.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. Hello, I'm Sagar Chand, a third year BTech student from the discipline of mechanical engineering. I would like to start with the fact that IITGN has a lot of things to offer to its students. That we have a lot of different commitments whole the semester, all throughout the years, in the 4 years, and the IIT Gandhinagar teaches you how you can manage between those different commitments. Like we have academics load, then we have extracurricular activities, we have sports, we have music, we have everything, and that there are things which we will try for the first time in our life, and we have to give our best in that. We have to stand up to our own expectation. So it's like the main approach to go into anything, to do any extra thing you want to do, be it in academic, be it in sports, you just have to show willingness, and the institute will be providing you with all the resources. So this is the kind of independence we have in IIT Gandhinagar. So be it in you have to pursue research, you just have to talk to some seniors and then take guidance from them to connect with professors, and then they will guide you. You want to do internships in corporate world, and then you will be able to connect with seniors, and they will connect with they will guide you through all the process that is needed. So till now my experience in this college has been remarkable. Like the best part, the feeling to thrive is the most important feeling I have experienced. So I'm also a part of various technical and entrepreneurial clubs. Yeah, we have chance to explore many things. I have explored game development, robotics, and coding as well. So this is the freedom we have, and we are choose, and we live up to our potential.
Okay. Sagar, you want to make one final point, or is that it? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Sagar. Thank you to all the speakers, students, and faculty of this segment. We shared our vision. We talked about studies. We talked about student life. Now what? How does IITGN prepare you for the outside world beyond IITGN? We now move on to campus placements. And for this, I call upon Professor Mithun Radhakrishna, Head Career Development Service, IIT Gandhinagar. Mithun, please.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're absolutely audible.
Yeah. So thank you, Sharmita, and good evening, everyone. And my name is Mithun Radhakrishna. I'm a faculty in chemical engineering and also heading the career development services at IIT Gandhinagar. As you have heard many times, IIT Gandhinagar, for us, the students are first. So we have this student first philosophy, and we want to apply this in every aspect. So even when it comes to placements, so we are not just interested in sort of bringing in companies and just placing students. That is the part is there, but we want to also empower the students. We want to help you discover your dreams. We want you to explore, and then we want you to sort of broaden your vision, right? So, and how do we help students, right? So the placement and the internships, they come during your last year of your third year for internships and fourth year for placements. But we have these sessions. So there are career discussion sessions. We organize industry visits, through which basically many of the courses where you can actually visit the industry and you can see what is happening and get more familiarity with the processes. We offer internships, we offer placements, We also offer alumni opportunities, and we also sort of have sessions where we guide students for higher studies. And of course, along with the main, we also train students to achieve this. And we are completely student driven. So we have a staff at CDS, but most of our placement and all the training, it's mostly student driven. So we have two arms in the career development service. One is the Professional Development Council, and the other is the Career Development CDS team. So the PDC, as we call, they help in sort of training students, in sort of organizing interview sort of preparation materials, and ensuring that students are well equipped with resources to prepare for their career, assisting students in various rounds of internship and placement. So let's say you are facing some issue in a certain sort of section in your course, or maybe it's your soft skills. So we conduct sessions and we ensure that you are completely ready for your placement or internship. So here is a snapshot of the class of 2022 undergraduate placements. The total placements is 92%, which is in fact on par or even much better than some of the established or the generation 1 IITs. The average salary is around 15.35 lakhs, and we had 253 recruiters, and we have had 21% of our graduating students opting for higher studies. And here we have just listed some of the top recruiters. We have Google, Amazon, ITC, DE Shaw, Oracle, Samsung Research, Infernia, and we have many PSUs. I've just listed Gale India and Barclays, and we have also an international offer from Undos Thrace. And we also, as I said, we also train students. If you're interested in higher studies for master's or PhD program, we also encourage that. So we have students who are graduating this year heading to Caltech, UC San Diego, Carnegie Mellon, EPFL, Purdue, Imperial College, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, University of Cambridge. This is just a select list. So the complete list, as I'm showing you, it's also available on our website, the address which I'll give you later. And we, as also discussed, mentioned by Professor Amit Prashant and later by other faculty, almost close to 40% of our students have foreign academic exposure. So I'm just showing you from the class 2017 to 2020. Of course, because of COVID, travel was impacted in the last year, so I don't have data for that. So this has sort of been consistent, and many students, after doing this, they either want to continue for masters or PhD, or they may want to sort of explore some of the research which they did during the internship and sort of start a startup, right? So these are all some of the avenues where students are going. And some of the universities where students go for these internships. So again, all the top universities, both in America, in Europe, in Australia, so in all the, of course, in all the continents, right? So we are, and this is our team. So we have a dedicated team who's just looking for academic internship. We have a dedicated person of faculty who is looking just for higher education and training students for that. We have Mr. Somil, who is the career placement officer. We have Jyoti and Jay, who are assisting us. And all the data which I presented is available on our website, https://cds.iitgn.ac.in. And some of our alumni we want to highlight. So Ekta and Saurya will be actually talking to you after me. And we have, I think, how many, I'm not sure if you heard of NanoNets. Recently, they actually raised a $10 million round for their startup, right? So with that, I want to thank you all. And I request you all to visit cds.iitgn.ac.in for all the information you can. Thank you, Sharmita.
Thank you, Mithun. Thank you very much. Okay. Now you have heard from us. Now hear from some very, very important people. It gives me immense pleasure to present the next segment, Alumni Spotlight. We have with us two of our very successful alumni, Ekta Prasnani. Actually, she's Dr. Ekta Prasnani now, and a research scientist at NVIDIA Research in Silicon Valley, and Mr. Akshay Randad. He is a research and development and R&D engineer at Sonomotion USA. I've seen them in students, and today I see them as alumni talking to all of us. Welcome, Ekta and Akshay. So, Ekta, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Lahiri. It's certainly good to be back after, I guess, almost 10 years now, 9 years.
2013. So,
yeah,
was when
yeah.
you graduated.
Yeah, so yeah, hi everyone. Congratulations for clearing the JEE Advanced. I'm here to kind of like briefly reflect back on my years since graduating and my experience at IIT too, which helped me shape my journey. Like Professor Lahiri mentioned, I was the alumni of the class of 2013, and this is the second batch of students who graduated from IIT Gandhinagar. So I've really had the front row seat as a student, witnessing how an institute kind of comes together and builds itself up. And I can definitely attest to this student first approach. One of my reflecting back on my first 4 years as an adult in IIT Gandhinagar and beyond, I realized that the most important factor that helped me grow as a student was the freedom of pursuit that IIT Gandhinagar offers. And as an example of that, let me kind of tell you what my own journey was like. So I started off as an electrical engineering major with a minor in computer science. And in my second year, I realized that I was very much into signal processing and computer vision by extension, because it's kind of like a field where you work with images, but you also apply signal processing concepts. So this field of computer vision was not really kind of like having sufficient representation amongst faculties in terms of their interest, but I was still able to pursue it. And fast forward to this day, I now have a PhD on the topic. The reason for me being able to do that was when I approached my professors. At the time, Professor KVV Murthy, and there was some visiting faculty as well. They helped me understand the whole process of like understanding AI, artificial intelligence, like computer vision. And they also helped me kind of identify problem statements I could work on. And eventually we also got in touch with visiting professor and guest lecturer at IIT Gandhinagar, Professor Nikhil Balram. And he introduced me to a whole new field like light fields and 3D computer vision. And I realized at the time that I wanted to do a PhD on the topic. And it has been one of the most remarkable journeys I've done so far. And it is, I would first and foremost attribute it to the freedom of pursuit and support I felt at IIT Gandhinagar, like just being able to do everything despite there not being an official curriculum on it at the time. So yeah, I think, and I guess another fun like experience that I had was like as a second year student, just rising second year student, I was able to also kind of join a group of 4 students and do an internship in UL Chicago, which was kind of pretty cool for me to kind of just like, that was my first ever flight that I took, and it was international. And I got to learn from some of the most senior people in UL, Dr. Praveen Ray Gandhi, if I remember, like he was one of our main mentors, and it was like it was rare to kind of be able to do that at such a young age, almost like 12 years ago now. So I think overall the campus experience has been very lively, very supportive, very preserving of a student's unique identity. And I think that is very vital, and you don't really get it everywhere. And you take it with you. Like I identify strongly with this ability to pursue whatever I want. And I have been fortunate to have had the opportunity throughout my life so far to be able to do that. And it's in large part thanks to the formative years that I spent in IIT Gandhinagar. I'm happy to answer more questions of my experience as a scientist now, but probably during the, I guess, the next session of open question and answer.
Yes, thank you so much, Ekta, or should I be calling you Dr. Prasnani?
Oh, please call me Ekta.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome, my heartiest welcome to Akshay Randad now. Akshay, great to see you. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone, and congratulations for your success. Now, before I share my experience from IIT, I just want to briefly touch upon the questions being asked here. Like, there are two themes I see that important themes. Like I'm getting this branch at this IIT and I'm getting this another branch at another IIT. Which one I should choose? Or what is the package for different or for a branch if I do a BTech in certain branch? Yes, those are important questions, and yes, you should look into those. But at the same time, I would like to tell that okay, there is no direct answer to that, and you will have to pull pieces of that. Pieces of answers from different people, and I would like to just share one piece for that answer. Now, of course, many of us have seen Three Idiots, and he suggests us to pursue our interests. And I would like to just share something on similar lines. Like, yes, there are financial considerations in this decision are important, but at the same time, understanding ourselves, exploring ourselves, and finding what makes us happy and satisfied is equally important. So please do pay attention to that while you make choice, and find an institute which gives you an opportunity to explore yourself, experiment, do a lot of trials and experiment with your choices, and find out what you actually really like. And I think that's what I enjoyed at IIT Gandhinagar. So when I joined IIT Gandhinagar, I was interested in like developing something which will a product or something which will have a societal impact or something. But as I entered, I realized that okay, that's not enough. When I went through different projects or opportunities, I realized that okay, there are different pieces which we need to make it work. And I failed at doing it multiple times, and still the professors were supportive. They gave me freedom and opportunity to do that. I particularly remember when I was exploring nanotechnology field, I felt very badly in that project. It was a project, and still Professor Kabir Jasuza was there, and he helped me to put it all, like just gather my courage together, and like still try to do other things. And he helped me to explore other things when he realized that okay, I'm not able to find my interest in this field. So that's what I learned about it. And further, so IIT Gandhinagar teaches you to look at a problem from a big picture, not just from the technology perspective, but also big picture. And that helped me in future when I was like presenting my technology at different platforms. Like I worked on a medical device for fragmenting kidney stones, and I was not just interested in developing the technology, but was also interested in commercializing. So when I went on different platforms to present business plan and also raise funding, I found that having that big understanding of big picture helps you. Like humanities courses, which I attended at IIT Gandhinagar, management courses which I attended at Gandhinagar, helped me to put the big picture to my audience and present that to the investors, and that helped me to get the funding. So overall, the IIT Gandhinagar helps you to explore yourself and also gives you like facilities and opportunity to choose your field of interest and go ahead in that field.
Thank you so much, Akshay. Just to mention, Akshay graduated in 2015. Thank you very much. And please remain so that, you know, when we do the Q&A, if you could answer some of the questions that come up also. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, this brings us to the end of our presentations. Before I open the floor up for Q&A, I have a small announcement to, not a small, a rather important announcement to make. Students and their parents can visit our beautiful campus on 16th of September, that is tomorrow, by filling up the Google form. The link of the form is provided in the JEE Open House session of 2022 website. So we have a form out there, and if you want to visit our campus, you're more than welcome to do so tomorrow. So please fill up that form. And now I would request all the panelists to, if you could kindly switch on your cameras, and of course, Dr. Amit Prashant as the director, the first one. So yes, and there have been questions, and I know my colleagues have already started answering them. So I will begin with taking on the very first question that is right there, you know, at the very moment, right, we have right now. Okay, my okay, Udit, there is a question right now at 7:14, which is concerning civil engineering, and my colleague Udit is answering. Udit, you might just want to speak also if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Does a civil engineer have international exposure? So Udit is going to answer that.
Thanks, Sharmita. Indeed, not only civil engineering, like all other branches, all other disciplines that we have, students from all disciplines get opportunity to go for international internships. Also, our BTech students are also heavily involved in research, not only research related to domain, but interdisciplinary research connecting civil engineering to other domains as well. And if they do excellent job as part of their research as BTech students, they also get a chance to travel to attend international conferences, meet people outside. And once they graduate, we also prepare them to join top places for their master's PhD program. So all in all, yes, there are more opportunities than you can grab at civil engineering and at IIT Gandhinagar in terms of international exposure.
Okay, that's a very encouraging answer, I must say. Okay, there is a question next, which I'm going to take right now. Is 1 second. I said time, so I'm going to start taking the questions which are after 7:14. Okay. Here is a question. It says, how is the coding culture at IIT Gandhinagar? Is it lesser than older IITs? So whichever of the panelists feel free to answer that, please take this one on. The coding culture.
I can answer that.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. So coding culture, I guess I have not compared it to older IITs, but for IIT Gandhinagar, it's as intense as you want it to be. Just going back to my own experience again, I started pursuing computer vision and in general artificial intelligence from my second year, independently and with the help of visiting faculty, current faculty, as I mentioned. And it is a very coding intensive field of study. It involves like interacting with large scale data sets, training machine learning algorithms, which can have all the way up to like 1 billion parameters, a lot of optimization on CUDA. All of that is, I was able to do back in 2011. So, and that's when CUDA was just taking off. And there was, I think, one of the first labs which was built in IIT Gandhinagar to enable high performance computing using CUDA kernels and like parallel programming. So I would say, definitely don't have a data point compared to other IITs, but I never felt that I couldn't do something that I wanted to, and there was sufficient support to be able to do that. So I hope that answers your question.
Thanks, Ekta. Okay, here is a question on materials engineering. What are the prospects for a material engineer after IIT GN? Maybe Amit Arora could answer that, or any of you.
Yeah, sure, Shamita.
Yeah.
So as a materials engineer, you can join any company which deals with materials, and that would be basically almost every company. You talk about steel companies, aluminum companies, you talk about automotive companies, be it Tata Motors, Maruti, or Hyundai or anything. You can talk about any semiconductor company, so be it Applied Materials, be it Intel, or you talk about any company which is working with space, aerospace, be it Boeing, Airbus, be it NASA, ISRO, any companies, all these companies, all these places which I'm talking about are hiring materials engineers around the world. If you look at the research which is happening around the world, all the funding agencies, maximum research funding goes to materials engineering, because the challenges which the world face, the biggest challenges as of now today are in the field of materials. Be it you need new batteries for EV vehicles, or you need new chips for your more efficient material for more efficient chips, or be it materials to go to Mars and everything all together. So these are kind of the opportunities which you can have in materials engineering.
Okay, that's wonderful, Amit. Thank you very much for that answer. Okay, here is a question on branch change, if that could be elaborated. So if one of you could kindly elaborate on the branch change policy.
Yes, I think I could.
Yes, that would be wonderful, Nitin.
Yeah, so if at this branching comes at the end of first year, this is based on CPI of a student at the end of first year. There are multiple levels of branch changes. First level is a branch change across branches and programs. If a student has a CPI of 9.5 or more, a student is given the branch of their choice without asking any questions or without any restrictions on the number of seats which are there in a particular branch. If the CPI is not 9.5 or more, the minimum CPI which is needed for someone to be eligible for a branch change is 6.5. Last year, the lowest CPI, the student, a student with a 6.63 CPI got a branch change. So that is the type of numbers which we are looking at. And if you specifically look at some discipline like computer science, last year it was like 9.1 was the CPI of someone who changed the branch to a computer science discipline. There are some limitations, some limits on the number of people who could come to a particular branch to a branch change, where we say that after students leaving a particular branch, the number of students who are left should be at least 50% of the sanction strength. That is one major thing which is there on the number of students who can leave a branch. That is one level. Second level is the newly introduced program of BTech MTech dual degree. And in the initial branch change, this branch change is open not only to BTech students, but also to BTech MTech dual degree students. BTech MTech dual degree students could change from the BTech MTech dual degree to any other program, including another BTech MTech dual degree or a BTech degree. Second is, once that type of branch changes are allowed, we are very flexible on vertical branch program changes. In the sense, if some student is currently in a computer science BTech MTech program, even after the branch change, if they would like to go to a BTech program in computer science, we will have options for that also. And if somebody is interested in going to a BTech MTech dual degree, that is always open, means even after first year or second year, that option is there where someone could go to a BTech MTech dual degree. So these are the type of branch change options which are there. But in addition, people could take advantage of the dual major options, the dual degree options, minor options. All of those options can be used to specialize in a particular area of their interest. Yeah, but it is very flexible. To give you a number, around 30 plus students got a branch change last year. And when we have, yeah, that's a very good number, I would say, to give an idea about what are the type of numbers where we are looking at in terms of branch change.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Nitin. There are several questions. I'm just clubbing together a few questions which are from various people, and in the interest of time, and they're asking, why should we? Some of them already been answered individually, but still, I think this is a good thing to approach. Why should somebody choose IIT Gandhinagar over older IITs? Possibly, yes, branches, but is it safer to take, I will not say, branches with lower marks, but rather I would say they're non-preferred branch at an older IIT than the preferred branch in IIT Gandhinagar. So what is the take on why IIT over IIT GN over older IITs?
Sharmita, can I take it?
Yes, absolutely, please.
Okay. So I would like to say that we are in the 21st century. Now, brand is important. Yes, probably you are influenced by the brand in saying that the older IITs have a brand, but now it's the age of data science. So you have primary data and we take decisions based on data. If a company is evaluating you, they will evaluate you, and based on the data, they will decide whether to take you or not. So brand becomes secondary, right? The second thing I would like to say is the placement scenario, the career scenario is evolving. For example, the kind of jobs that we have today were unheard of 10 years ago. So it is unpredictable. So what you can invest in is improving yourself, developing a strong foundation and developing breadth so that you are prepared not only for your first job, but throughout your career, and so that you can become a lifelong learner and a happy, balanced person. So in line with that, if you are convinced that an institution offers you this, I think joining the institution would be a good idea. Although I believe this is a personal choice, whether you want to go for institution A or institution B. So I would like to just conclude by saying that gone are the days where people used to rely on these brands, hearsay. Now people like to go by primary data. If you're a singer, give me your YouTube channel. I don't want to see all the certificates that you have in singing, right? So if you can add value to a company, if you can add value to a university, I don't see any reason why they would worry about which IIT you have graduated from. And lastly, I would like to say, for people who are extremely brand conscious, IIT Gandhinagar has its own brand. It's a very different institution, and it is known nationally as being a creative and a risk-taking institution. So if you would like to associate yourself with such an institution, then you are welcome to join IIT Gandhinagar.
Thank you, Himanshu, for that answer. There is now a question. Yes, Amit, yes, please, go ahead.
I can add to that one small point that one of the philosophy we follow is in attention to individual needs and not look at the students as a group or as a mass, which is very unique to IIT Gandhinagar. Each student, each person has their own passion, their own interest. So all these things that you're looking at, branch change, liberal, opportunities being very, very specific, diverse at the same time, considering the diverse needs of the students and interest diversity, etc. So looking at all these things, and one of the, you can say, reason we have grown very slow in the number of students that we admit is that we create the opportunities before we admit the students in a way. So what I would say, if you are interested in yourself as an individual to grow, then IIT Gandhinagar is the place. If you are interested in the statistics of the past and believe that will drive you into the future, this is not the right place for you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Amit. One question that I'm taking from here, there are actually two questions which I'm clubbing, and this is about mechanical engineering. And they're both kind of saying the same thing, that there is a general assumption that mechanical engineering is kind of limiting in its scope. So what exactly is the scope of mechanical engineering? You know, is that so indeed so limited, or is it a little more? I mean, there is much more to it.
Well, Sharmita, may I?
Yes, please, absolutely.
Yeah. So just to give you a sense, so the mechanical engineering, as I just pick up the words from Himanshu, where he mentioned earlier that.
Ravi, could I have your camera on, please? It would be nice to see you as well, if it is possible.
It is on already.
Okay,
Sharmita.
somehow. Okay, fine. Yes, maybe my problem. Yeah.
So the engineering of the 21st century is very different. To give you a sense of that, I, being a mechanical engineering faculty, I work on bone growth problems. So that is one instance where we are spreading our wings farther than the discipline of mechanical engineering in its conventional state itself. Now, to give you a sense of more, more such opportunities, we do have chemical engineering students working with us, and there is a chemical engineering student working with me for her PhD in mechanical engineering. There are students from mechanical engineering who are working in the area of cognitive science. I know of students who are electrical engineering, but they are taking courses in mechanical engineering for their passion being in robotics area. So there is really, the so-called notions of electrical, mechanical are only building silos in your head, and they are compartmentalizing you to stick to one particular area per se. But the current times have changed, and the way the engineering is perceived has changed. And therefore, if you are thinking of mechanical engineering as something where you are visualizing a mechanic in an auto shed, then probably you are doing the wrong thing doing that. Okay. Thanks, Sharma.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Okay, now I'm going to take a very important question, and several questions are on there. I'm kind of clubbing them. Gender ratio. what is the gender ratio of students? How safe is it for girl students? And is there a curfew at the girls' hostel? Just before that, I just want to see if you see at today, we have the Dean of Student Affairs is a lady faculty. One of the Dean of External Communication, the Associate Dean External Communications is a lady. One of the two alumni that were there, there's one boy, one girl, or one lady, one gentleman. So I guess I am just giving the prelude, and now I leave it to my colleagues to answer. Ratio, safety, and curfew at ladies' hostel. Whoever wants to take this one.
So I think I can take that question
Yes,
as someone who's
that
here.
would be great.
So, see, I think the gender ratio, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that there is a 50% gender ratio here, but the fact of the matter is that I have in the past 3 years never faced any kind of discrimination on the basis of my gender, never faced any kind of discrimination on the opportunities I am given, be it the kind of life we are living at a hostel. There is nothing like the fact that I am living in a girls' hostel, so I cannot enter a boys' hostel, or a boy cannot enter a girls' hostel. We as a student community eat in the same mess. We as a student community use the same facilities. There is absolutely no curfew for us to go into a boys' hostel or for a boy to come into a girls' hostel. So, in terms of the gender ratio, I think I have never heard anyone practicing any kind of prejudice here. And if you think about the conventional stereotypes that there are less girls in mechanical, civil, chemical, so there are equal number of girls in all the branches. The ratio is same for all the branches, and all of them have equal opportunities. So I think there is nothing like being a girl or being a boy at IIT Gandhinagar. You are just someone who has come here to be an engineer.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Aditi. Couldn't have expected a better answer, that too from a student. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to take, again, club a few questions. The questions are mainly about, the possibility of minors. I mean, what minors can you take? And is it possible to take a minor in a different discipline of engineering itself?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Yes. So,
Can I-
Nitin, yes, please.
Yeah, so we have the list of the type of minors which you
And
can
Nitin, may I
take.
just add to the minor question, if you could just go on to speak a little bit about the dual major, because there are several questions on that as well.
Yes, of course. Sure. The list of areas in which one could take a minor is there on the JOSA website. We have added it there. Minors are usually taken in a discipline other than the parent discipline in which a student is doing a BTech program. And a student can do more than one minor. So there are students who have done in the past who have done multiple minors. You could do a BTech in mechanical engineering with a minor in management and a minor in computer science. So all those types of options are there. To do a minor, you do additional courses from another discipline in addition to the base BTech program which is there. Typically, it is 4 to 5 courses. If you do, you can get a minor in that discipline. That is about the minor. When it comes to dual major, so the overall curriculum of IIT Gandhinagar, you can see there is a core curricular structure, and then there are discipline specific curriculum. So the core curricular structure remains same for all the disciplines. So if somebody is interested in a dual major, how they are able to do it is because the core curricular structure remains the same for both. So one doesn't have to repeat it. And then a subset of the courses which are essential for a specialization in the second major discipline has to be done to get the second major. And it usually takes 5 years. Within 5 years, people are able to finish 2 majors and get a BTech in chemical engineering and a BTech in mechanical engineering together. This will be one degree in which both the majors will be mentioned. However, in the case of dual degree, those will be two separate degrees. At a particular convocation, one could get 2 separate degrees. One is a BTech in a particular discipline or an MTech in a particular discipline. And one point to note is, even if you're a student in a particular discipline, suppose I am a student in chemical engineering, I am interested in computer science, I could get an MTech in computer science. So there is flexibility to go from one branch to another branch at multiple levels, at the BTech level, at the MTech level. So those type of flexibilities are there. Dual degree also usually takes 5 years to complete. It is not necessary that you need to take 4 years to complete the BTech degree at IIT Gandhinagar. You could finish it in 3.5 years if you are able to plan your courses well ahead of time. So those are the type of options which are there. We are not restricting students from taking courses from anywhere. So there is a lot of flexibility in pursuing whatever interest you have. And we will be happy for you, even if you don't pursue your pursue what you can say. You remain in your discipline, even if you change your discipline, even if you become an writer, artist, we will just celebrate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, there are several questions regarding placements, and Mithun is looking at them. And so, Mithun, over to you. Maybe you could answer them collectively. Yes.
So, yeah, I think most of the questions are on the average salary, discipline wise, and so those I've already answered. And please visit cds.iitgn.ac.in for more information. But just one as a follow-up to what Professor Nitin George was mentioning. So students who, let's say you are in civil engineering and you want to either pursue a minor in computer science or electrical engineering, or you want to do a double major, dual major in computer science, electrical, you become eligible for placement in those disciplines too. So we have, last year we had 100% placement for students who opted for dual majors. So it is, I understand that sometimes rankings sort of decides in a generic sense which discipline you take, but at IIT Gandhinagar, that is not the case, right? So you can completely broaden your horizon and actually choose also to pursue a degree in the discipline which you like, and so of course also explore opportunities in that particular discipline of your choice, and not something which was dictated by an exam or the rank.
Thank you, Mithun. Okay, this is a question that I'm going to take because this is a very intriguing one. IIT-GN has launched 2 new programs this year, which is a 5-year dual CSE and electrical. I'm a girl. What are my chances of getting the 5-year dual degree program here under the female quota? My rank is 12243. What may be the cutoff roughly of this branch? Do I have any chances? And I'm specifically asking this question because she mentioned, because there's a gender question involved in this. So if any of you could kindly take this question.
I think the answer was given there on the pawns. So
okay.
The ranks, etc., is difficult to answer at any stage of point of, you can say, thing. Right now, about the minimum, you can say, supernumerary seats for women was 20% that was supposed to be achieved. And
right.
has been more or less achieved in a way by JOSA. So this is all controlled through JOSA in that way, I would say. So whether this particular rank will qualify for that or not, it is difficult to say, because the number of seats are increasing every year, and also the program's dynamics changes. So it's difficult to say. I would say in whatever your rank may be, you should try your best and look forward to it.
Okay. Thank you, Amit, for answering that. Okay, I think there are several questions about tomorrow's visit. I know the form has to be filled up. So, and most of these questions now that are there, we have answered them in groups and together, clubbing them together. I think most of the major concerns have been addressed. So if one of you could kindly tell us a little bit about tomorrow's visit, because there are several questions on that.
Pranita, I can take it up.
Yes, please, Priya.
So tomorrow visit is once you fill up the form and then tell us, or if you haven't filled up the form, please fill up, because that will help us to help personal student guides. They can take you to various places in the campus. So if you have not filled the form, you can also come to the main gate, and there is a desk will be there to help you to fill up the form and then get into the campus. More specific questions are visiting hostels. Yes, of course, parents can visit the hostel area. Because of COVID, we will have some restrictions that is actually placed with the norms. But most of these places are open areas. Actually, you can visit inside the campus. Yeah, welcome to the campus.
Okay. Thank you, Priya. I think we have taken the majority of the questions, if not individually in chunks. So we end the open house today here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And we do hope, as I said, if you want to be more than a very good engineer, then you should you want to be somebody more, then this is a place that you should give a very serious consideration to. I thank all my colleagues for joining us today and the students and the alumni for being with us today in this JEE Open House. Thank you, everybody.